That's how he's gonna fall. And a catch. It's gonna get the defuse.
I clutch everything.
Hey,
let's go. Fuck off. Yes, sir.
Damn, you really are starting off hot.
I don't know if I'm gonna start with that.
How does it feel? First of all, how does it feel not to make champs?
See, I'm just getting bullied on this league. I'm getting bullied by these guys on the podcast already. Like, this is crazy. This is insane.
Honestly, we can leave this in.
I'm not getting paid enough for this to get bullied on stream or on video.
Definitely go early first.
Yeah. No, I'll start with that. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the Purpose Podcast. We have a very special guest today. He goes by Dillon Price, aka Attach. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up? How you guys doing today?
Chilling, man.
Good,
Chilling.
good.
Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate you for being here, man.
Of course.
So what brings you back to LA? I know you were in Minnesota for a little while.
Yeah, so from California, born and raised, but was living in Minnesota this past year for the team and everything. And now it's the off season. I want to come enjoy the weather, enjoy the city, see all my friends, family, all that stuff. So and go to the beach. They don't got beaches in Minnesota.
Yeah,
They don't got
that's for
beaches
damn
there.
sure. No, but you're a big beach guy, huh? I remember I was talking to you the other day, and you're just cruising the beach by yourself. Is that your thing? Is that how you kind of just like unwind a little bit, or what?
Yeah, the beach is just relaxing. It's just good because my two least favorite things in life are like sitting inside or staying inside and sitting down. And that's what I got to do for a career pretty
That's
much.
literally your job.
So, maybe I still love what I do,
Right.
but I like going outside, getting in nature, just chilling, relaxing.
I like that.
The beach, the sand, the water, like the way it smells, everything. It's just amazing.
I feel that.
So then Minnesota is probably not like the right spot for you.
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Minnesota's definitely not the right spot for me. Like the winter's very tough, but the spring and summer is nice. They have really nice lakes. I didn't get to go, unfortunately, but
This guy was
it is really
grinding.
nice in the spring and summer.
He's
So
grinding.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, so you mentioned that you sit down and you're inside all day.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell anybody who isn't familiar with what you do, like where you came from and how you started doing what you do?
yeah, so it's pretty crazy because I was just playing sports like baseball, soccer growing up, and one of my friends told me, or I went over to my friend's house, played Call of Duty 4 for the first time ever, and we 1v1'd on shipment. And the rest is kind of history after that.
Goated map, actually.
The rest is kind of history after that because I was in, 07 or something. And then I was like, wow, I need to get an Xbox 360. And finally got one. Then my other friend told me about game battles. So I started learning about, that you can be, in competition. Because I'm always a very competitive person.
Right.
No matter what everything in life, I'm just competitive in. So I wanted to just play that and see where it went. And that was, the foundation or the start of, this whole gaming thing.
What kind of where was the point where you realized I'm pretty good at this? You know what I mean?
The point where I realized was I went to a LAN. My friend Tommy, him and his mom took me to a LAN in Modern Warfare 3, a local LAN, and I went there. Plays pretty well. We didn't make any money at that one. We got second or something, so pretty solid. And we played some good competition. I was like, oh, this is really fun. You can go in person. And I was probably 13, 14 years old, super young.
Right.
But it was just it was really fun, and that kind of started for me. But then the real moment where I realized I was actually really good was when I went to Black Ops 2 MLG Anaheim in 2013, where I found a team literally the day before the event. I found a team, and we placed 29th through 32nd, which isn't too bad. 'Cause there was probably 100 something teams there. So
Oh shit!
Right.
Wow, that's
finding a
crazy.
team the day before and doing that isn't too bad. And I played really well individually, and that's actually where I met Lamar Accuracy, and
Yeah.
the career just took off from there.
That's that guy, Lamar. Really quick, so you mentioned that it started at an early age, you were gaming a lot. How much time do you think you spent playing video games when you were younger? I'm assuming obviously a lot, but in terms of how it affects it. This guy's looking at me I was
let's think about it this way. Okay, so we can think about hours, but that's so many hours. So let's think about days, weeks, months. How long do you think you sat in your game chair and just grinded?
Bro, it's got at this point I feel
Probably honestly, I've been playing Call of Duty. I played other games before, but let's just start with Call of Duty. I was playing Call of Duty since I was 10. I'm 25 now, so that's 15 years.
this guy's old.
I'm ancient, yes. But probably at least, I would just calculate 7 to 8 hours a day times
Yeah, we're not
300
gonna
days.
do
It's honestly probably been
Years.
7-8 years.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say it's probably been a really
Something
long time.
insane. Because like even when I was younger, I'd play like 10 to 12 hours straight, and then when I became pro, would practice and then stream right after. So that's another 10 to 12
Crazy.
hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Some 24-hour grind sessions. So it's been a very long
So,
time.
like,
a lot of days.
After school, like when you were younger, would you just get home and just immediately get on, or like how'd you go about it?
Oh, what like grade are you talking about right now in school?
Like
would
when
say?
you like just started, like once you got your Xbox, like was it just something that you had to do after school?
Yeah. I was definitely, I think I was in 4th or 5th grade when I started like getting on the grind.
Damn.
And I think probably about at least half the days in school, I would go to the nurse's office to try and act sick to get out. They took the bait sometimes. And
They're
honestly,
like, this kid's sick a lot.
Yeah.
What's going on?
yeah, I would honestly try to get myself sick too outside of school. Like it would be like in the winter and I'm just standing outside, even though it doesn't get very cold. I was still just standing outside in just like a shirt and shorts and just trying to get myself sick so I could stay home and play Call of Duty.
fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
So if you guys want to do something, you're really passionate about it, get sick, do whatever you got to do to make sure you can get time in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but stay healthy too while
so
doing that.
with that being said, though, like, how do you think like did it like affect your social life at all? Like, I know like because you and I met my sophomore year.
Probably, yeah. I was probably junior year.
Yeah, and then your junior year. How did it affect, like, because you were a pretty social guy. I know, like, everybody loved this guy. He was, like, I don't know, you were
Yeah, I definitely was good friends with everyone.
popular, you know?
Yeah, I was.
in a sense.
I was cool with everyone. I was
Yeah.
cool with everyone,
Right.
even before gaming. And like my friends, they used to game, but then when we got to high school, they all quit. So I stayed gaming and like stayed with it, but I just kept it really low key because like I don't know, it just wasn't cool to be a gamer. Not like a lot of people
Right.
talked about video games publicly like
Yeah.
that. Back
So
in the
I
early
was
days.
gonna ask, like, so when like growing up, were you like afraid to say like, oh, I'm a gamer? Because I know like personally, I was like afraid. Like I wouldn't tell
Same.
anybody
No,
I was a
I was
gamer.
Oh
the same
yeah,
way.
no, I'm pretty sure like everyone feels the same way that went through it at that era or that time.
Yeah.
Until like it finally got popular. But it was definitely like when only my very close friends knew me as Attach, and they would see me at school and say like, yo, Attach, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't say that shit.
I remember you had a gaming Twitter, and then you also had your regular Twitter, right?
Yeah, I was
And then
living a
people
double
found
life.
Yeah, this guy was like Hannah Montana.
I was literally Hannah Montana living a double life.
That's fucking.
And then
hilarious.
once there was an article that Fox Sports did, I think I was like a junior or something when they did it. It was called it was titled "Student by Day, Gamer by Night" or something. And then
I feel like I saw that.
some people found it from my school, and that's when people started like finding out. And I was missing because I think when I really started traveling a lot, when I was like a senior or like junior, end of junior year, senior year, beginning of that, I started missing like Thursday, Friday, Monday consistently. And all my friends would be like, yo, where you at? Let's hang out this weekend. I'm like, I'm sick. And I would say that for every weekend. I would say that I was sick for every weekend for like 4 months straight. And then I'd be fine like on Tuesday when I came back to school. So yeah, it was definitely very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Until like I couldn't hide it anymore and everyone knew. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So then, at like, what point did you like accept it and you're like, all right, I'm a gamer. Like, I don't care what other people think.
I mean, it was pretty forced upon me. Like
Right.
everyone just found out
That's true,
without
actually.
me knowing.
That's
Or no, like, everyone found out without me like telling them. They just found out because you know how it spreads. Oh my God, Dillon's a pro gamer, and then they tell someone else, and they tell someone else, and then
Yeah.
someone's watching the live stream of the tournament from my
Yeah.
town, and then
Yeah.
like
Wait, so did people find out that you were pro before you won champs?
yeah. People knew I was pro like junior year because I was starting to like go to some events in like the Ghost, COD
Oh,
Ghost,
okay,
but only
yeah.
like a few people knew, and it wasn't like that, or people knew, but it wasn't like that crazy yet. Like I technically was a pro, but it wasn't like too crazy yet.
Yeah. I think my main question here is like going back to like how did it affect like your social life? Like did it affect you like negatively, or was it like how did you go about like,
Yeah, like-
everyday life knowing that like and it's like you said you were living a double life in a sense. So like what was kind of like the mental process of like I can't let people find out about this, or like how did it affect you negatively, or like how did it work?
I wouldn't say it really affected me negatively. It was just kind of like it would make me nervous or like scared when people would like know about it before everyone knew about it, just because it was like embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
what do people think about gaming?
Right.
But it's weird too because I had a lot of friends. I knew a lot of people, so it's not like. And my friends already gamed already. So looking back on it, it's pretty stupid that like I was nervous, or even any of us or any people in the school were nervous, because I feel like once I did end up winning champs, all my friends knew, the whole school knew that I was making videos at school. There was rallies being
I
thrown.
remember that.
They were chanting shit.
I remember the rally for sure.
The rally
that
was
was
fun.
cool.
Like that was definitely cool. But then like it started being like normal. Like, I feel like everyone started talking about gaming, especially the younger grade, like your guys' grade. Like you guys would have like locals, like tournaments in your guys' garages and stuff.
It was
I've
so
I-
hosted plenty of those.
Yeah.
I've done a couple in his garage, and I know you pulled up to one of them.
Yeah,
That was
I had to
dope.
check it out. I had to check it out.
No, it's pretty sweet. Okay, so I want to kind of get into like obviously like your early stages, like when you first started gaming, and like at one point, did you have like any sort of like self-doubt, or like did you ever think that like, because I feel like back then, not like it is now, it's like completely oversaturated now, like there's tons of people trying to do it now, but back then I feel like it was like you said, like not a lot of people were like gaming and stuff like that. Did you have any sort of like self-doubt? Like did you think like I don't know if I'm good enough, or I don't know if like I know the right people or taking the right path?
I never really had any self-doubt in my ability to be a pro or like playing Call of Duty, because I was always just like really, well, once I was practiced and like played for years, I was really good. So like I always believed in my ability. But it was hard to break into that circle with like other pros, because it was so closed off back then. Like it's so much easier to go pro now. Like today, it's so much easier. You turn your stream on, you fry in a couple online tournaments, you're going pro. Back in those days, like it was like 12 known pros that are like, and they're all friends with each other. They're not going to let you into the 8th circle. Like you're not going to be able to scrim or practice versus them unless you're at the top. And like, it was just so hard to get into that circle. So I just felt like I was on like the outside, just looking in. And once I met Lamar Accuracy, like he kind of got me into that pro circle, because he was on like the edge, like the border of the pro circle, like between like amateur, semi-pro, and like pro. But he knew a lot of people. So once I met him, he kind of got me in there, and then I was able to just like showcase my talents. People saw I was good, so the better players wanted to start playing with me. But yeah, it was very hard to break into the circle back in the day.
So did that ever like tax on you? Like was it ever like, man, I don't know if it's ever gonna work out, just because it was like such a tight knit group? Like I don't know, like how were you finding like, okay, like maybe I got a chance? Like was it just like the whole Lamar thing? Did you guys team, or like how did that happen?
No, we didn't team, but I just met people through him that I like played a tournament with. And like one of the last Black Ops 2 tournaments was like an online tourney, and we ended up winning it. I filled in for a team because someone was at a local LAN at the beginning, like the first couple days, and then they came back, so they started playing the rest of it. But then he got hit off in the finals, and I subbed in. It was like at the time I think it was me, Diabolic, Sender, which is the coach of Optic Texas right now, and I forgot our fourth, to be honest. But we played against like Fizzer, rest in peace, John, I think. I forgot who else was on the team. I think it was Embos and like another team. And I did like really well. We ended up winning like in the finals, and I filled in. And at the time, I think I had like 200 followers or 300 followers on my gaming Twitter. And then I got like 300 followers that night after we won.
Right.
And Chris Crowder, the coach of FaZe, my team and I won a world championship with, actually tweeted me way back in Black Ops 2 and said, he said something in the lines of like, is this some new talent I need to be looking at or something? Like he's scouting me.
I feel like I've seen that.
And so that's a pretty crazy moment. And I was so hyped after that. I'm showing my mom, I'm like, Mom, look at, I'm gaining like, I gained like 200 followers. This is crazy. I have like 600 followers now. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Let's
But
go.
like back then though, it was like a lot.
Yeah.
And especially on Twitter, like it's hard to gain followers. Like
it is hard to gain
like,
followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a different app.
That being said, the whole social media thing, you're a big face in social media and just in general. How do you kind of like avoid that like affecting you? Because obviously like you guys get choke slammed or whatever, you guys get smoked, and there's obviously like crazy fans that'll come at you and like start saying like crazy shit. Like how do you like kind of just like block that out? How do you like not let that affect you?
Yeah, it's definitely weird with the way social media is, and how not only how ingrained esports players are in it. Because like it's not like we're a pro sport where you go play your sport, you lose, you get off. I mean, you don't need to check your phone for anything. But with like it's business for you to check your phone. It's literally work for you when you're trying to build a brand and build a career through like esports and like online community. So like you kind of have to always be on social media. You can't just not be like tweeting and posting and stuff, or you might be hurting yourself in the long run if you don't really gain a following to lead to another like career path after you're done being a pro or competing. So it is tough because it depends who you are too. For me personally, probably like I still get mad at some things, like not like really mad, But if you lose and people tweet you, roasting you or your team, you get a little annoyed. But I'm the type of person that actually, I don't know why, but I always love like tough love, criticism, and all that stuff. And when people say like, "Oh, you suck," or "Oh, your team sucks," I'll be like, "All right, well, I mean, that's kind of deserved right now because we played like we suck." So like, I try to take that mentality of like, yeah, they're roasting us, but it might be deserved at the moment. Granted, they probably shouldn't be saying some of the stuff they're saying because they be saying some crazy shit sometimes. They be saying some absolute insane shit that they might need to be put in a asylum in or something. But yeah, they be going rogue for sure, a little overboard. But I mean, that's just how social media is. People are gonna be able to say things that you're not really gonna be able to like. There's no repercussions for them saying things,
right?
Yeah,
because they're usually on just random burner accounts with no avatars, no pictures, no nothing. Right. So like they can say whatever they want, and you just gotta really stay focused. Like at the end of the day, it is your job to be on social media, tweet, do all that stuff,
and it's just gonna happen.
But you kind of just have to take it with a grain of salt and just keep doing your thing and kind of block out the noise when it's time to block out the noise. So like. It does affect you, especially if it is a lot of people tweeting you the same thing, and it could hurt. But you gotta just be strong mentally and really not let it like affect you for too long. Like kind of think about it, accept it, figure it out, and then move on.
Yeah. How long do you think it took you to like develop that mentality? You said that like you've always kind of like had that mentality as you were young, but like when were you like?
Yeah, like when it got to like this level of so many people watching you and you're getting like either a lot of love or a lot of hate, like at what point was it like, all right, I got to learn how to accept this?
Honestly, I never really like felt like there was a time in my life I'm like, oh my God, these people are roasting me. Because I've always been a person, not really when I'm just chilling with friends, or I mean, yeah, actually, never mind, a lot when I'm chilling with friends. And when it comes to competition, I'm very competitive.
You just shit talk a lot.
I like to shit talk a lot. Like I only do it sometimes. But I just like that energy, honestly. Like when people are talking shit to me and I'm talking shit to people, like it just feels good and competitive. And then I know at the end of the day, like this is just entertainment for people. And a lot of things they're saying, they're trying to get entertainment as well and get those like likes and impressions. So like sometimes, I'll tweet them back something. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not like they are real people, but you can't like count the actual internet as real because like no matter what's said online by people, oh, you suck at Call of Duty, or yo, you're terrible, your team sucks. You can just walk outside, turn your phone off for a little bit, reset, get your mind off things, and then come back and try to like just go in there with a level head and don't say anything too stupid to get yourself in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
But like I've never really had a time. Sorry to cut you off. I never really had a time where I felt like, oh, I really care, because I've just been getting roasted my whole life, especially playing Optic. Like I just got used to that early because I would beat them early in my career.
This guy was the Optic killer, bro.
I was beating them early in my career, and back in those days, they were going rogue. They were sending you your address. People were getting hit offline. And
did you ever get swatted?
Nah, never, thankfully. But there was people getting swatted left and right, which is really scary, really, really scary. People getting hit offline every day, which is annoying if you're trying to practice with your team or you're in a tournament. Like, it was crazy back in those days.
So I'm actually kind of glad that you brought that up, because it's like, I feel like you said like a lot of people were getting hate, you were getting hate, whatever. And like, there's a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot of people, I don't want to speak for people in general, but I feel like there's people who may not have that same mentality as you, where like they do let these comments affect them and they do like have their issues. I want to bring somebody up specifically. I mean, I personally don't know the story of what came out, but Pharaoh, you mentioned him earlier, or right?
No, I said Fizzer.
But
yeah.
Well, Pharaoh.
R.I.P. Pharaoh too.
Pharaoh as well. He, from my understanding, he committed suicide, and like I feel like I don't want to say that it was all about social media and stuff like that. There's obviously like other things that go into it, and in terms of like people's career in general and stuff like that. Do you think that had like a big impact on, the gaming community when he passed?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even when Fizzer passed, like it was just to really see how young we all are. Like even now, I'm 25, but like I'm still super young. You guys are also super young. And Fizzer passed when I don't know how old he was, but in Black Ops 3, that was like 6 years ago, which is crazy to think about. And he left such a big impact on the community with just like his streams, and even before Call of Duty was really like big to the point where it is now. Like it was still big, and a lot of people were still watching it, But like even nowadays, like people still remember everything he did, how like charismatic, crazy good in S&D he was in the plays he'd make. So like he still leaves his impact today. And same with Farrell. Like Farrell was just a super talented player. He was just a straight competitor. Like he
absolutely.
was do whatever it takes to win. He was just like someone you wanted on your team because he's like a straight like a killer. Like if you're going into war with someone, you want him on your team. Like he's gonna make that comeback with you. He's gonna fry, and he just always brought that energy. And he was a really good person. I knew him for a while, and I mean that's just really sad to see because like he was younger than me, so like a couple years younger than me, and I kind of like saw him grow up while I was still growing up as well. And so I definitely like it's just really sad to see that happen and like how everything like breaks down. But yeah, it sucks because like at the end of the day, like the gaming community, yeah, we compete against each other, but we also are like kind of like, real good friends, like a brotherhood of like we came up from nothing with small events, traveling around the world, and we kind of grew up together. Like we traveled around the world together, competed for hundreds of thousands of dollars, made careers, made friendships, made lifelong memories. So like when stuff like that happens, it just like it just sucks for everyone. It's super sad.
So in the example of Pharaoh and that whole thing, do you think that kind of like opened people's eyes to like the behind the scenes of like what it means to be a gamer and like because just in general too, like I feel like anybody who takes any sort of profession or any like work, any type of job that somebody has, there's like it taxes on your mental to a certain extent. And in different areas, people deal with certain things. And like I said, it at times it boils back down to your profession and your job. Do you think like a lot of people learned something about, well, in the gaming community, learned something about like mental health and, because like I said, he, unfortunately committed suicide. So like, do you think there was a lot to learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what was going on with him, like when it happened. So I don't really want to speak too much on like his specific situation, just because like if you're not there, you really can't like tell or actually know.
Absolutely.
And like I was close to him, but I wasn't close enough to like know exactly what he was going through at that time. But when it comes to like mental health, like even physical health too, because what we do is like in professional sports, they get paid to run around and be in shape and all that good stuff,
right, yeah.
Which is really nice. But we get paid to sit inside and grind, and it's so easy to get into that cycle of just being unhealthy. You eat unhealthy food, just fast food every day. You sit down 8 to 10 hours a day, which is terrible for you because humans are not meant to sit down and stay inside, not see sunlight, not move around, not work out, and do all that. So like, I think it all plays a big part into it. And as esports are growing in general, more organizations and players are realizing how important it is to take care of your body physically and mentally. That's why they hire like trainers for their teams, like Minnesota Rocker. They hire like a trainer for us for like to work out with. There's coaches for the top, like performance coaches and like all that stuff. So as esports is getting more serious, more eyes on it, more money, like there's a very big change that just like it keeps getting more professional and better, and more resources are coming in to help the players, the teams, the longevity, and making sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I like that you mentioned like humans aren't meant to like sit at a desk and just stare at a screen for hours and hours and hours. So I know we talked about it earlier, just like you in general, like you like to go out in nature and stuff like that. Like do you ever like come to a point like after scrims or like after playing for a while, you're just like, okay, this is where I gotta shut off. This is where I gotta be like, I gotta set a time aside for myself.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely like to I like to work out in the mornings before scrim to like really start my day. So just wake up, go straight to the gym, and it just makes me feel good. It has me thinking clearly. Then go scrim later that day and practice. I like to go for like a walk after to kind of reset because like you're in an intense environment. Like you're trying to be the best player, the best team in the world. And like there's going to be times when you're going to have disagreements. You're going to have to talk things out with your teammates and your team and figure out issues because that's how you can become the best team. Like figuring out all of the issues you have and how to play the game as quick as possible. So like it's not like you can just go in there and kind of like lollygag and sit around. Like you have to like
it's a job.
Yeah, you have to get shit done because if you're not getting shit done, you and your teammates' careers can be over if you're not playing well.
Absolutely.
So like, yeah, you might argue and fight, but it's for the better of everyone on your team to win in that moment and add some years and longevity to everyone's career. But yeah, it gets intense, like I said. So I like to take a walk after, just kind of like get some fresh air, reset, get some food after, and then just relax for a little bit, and then maybe hop back on and play some more and stream, or just like watch some more VOD and kind of just keep improving my game.
So, with it being like a profession, and we mentioned the whole scrimming and like watching VOD and stuff like that, and how like it's like a very competitive environment for people who don't entirely understand like the competitive aspect of everything. I see a lot of people getting upset, or like people like on social media, they'll go on Twitter and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, like this team like is like." They'll watch a stream of like a team scrimming or something like that, and they see that they're arguing and stuff, and like people are like, well, like these people like hate each other. Like, why are they teaming together? Like, where do you think like you draw the line in terms of like teammates having like constructive criticism or like a discussion as opposed to just like talking shit to each other?
Yeah, there's definitely times when arguments can get pretty heated between teammates. I've definitely been there with a lot of people, because that's just how it goes. When if you're not doing that, like, you don't want to win. You're not competitive. Like, that's how it goes. Like, no matter how quiet you are as a person, how much you don't like to talk, you're gonna get heated at some point, and things are gonna happen. So that's just the nature of any sport. Ask any athlete who's ever played a sport or any competition. It could be a booger eating competition. If you have a teammate in a booger eating competition and stuff's going wrong, like, you're gonna rage at each other. I don't know. Like, that's just competition in general. So like, when you want to win, like, you're gonna be doing your thing, and of course you don't want it to get disrespectful and personal, right, and all that stuff. And it's gonna get like that sometimes, but you want to surround yourself with people that can get through that, have it not happen as much, and be understanding. Like, at the end of the day, we're just trying to get better with each other and get better for the team, to make our lives better, to be able to make more money, have a longer career, support your friends, family, build wealth throughout the years. So like, it's all for a purpose. But yes, it definitely could get really heated. You just want to find people that can not really take too much offense to that and just know it's strictly criticism about the game. So like, you just got to have people that can just know that, because you're going to take personal shots from time to time. It is what it is. It's competitive business. So things are going to get heated.
Like, do you think that kind of like heated arguments is like needed to like better understand each other as teammates and stuff, to like get better?
Yeah, because I feel like if you kind of keep yourself reserved and don't let out what you're thinking sometimes, it's just going to add up over time. On top, one thing happens, another thing happens, then you finally have some crazy outbursts, and that might be the demise of your team or you as a player, instead of just like talking stuff out. Even though it might start off heated, kind of try and relax, take a deep breath for a few seconds, relax, chill, think about what you're going to say next, and then figure things out.
Yeah, kind of find like a common like denominator type.
Yeah, because it could get out of hand, but you just need to be able to reset after and like get back to work. And like, that's the kind of what separates some of like the best teams and players from others. Like, just actually being able to do that and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. So with that being said, what do you think is more important? I had a question here. Let me see. Is it more important to have a more skillful player or a good teammate kind of player? Obviously, you need, both, but you personally, what would you rather have on your team? Somebody who's just fucking gross at the game, or somebody who you're going to learn from or you're going to get better from? I feel like it also has to do with like where in your career you're at.
Sure. For sure. Like, at this point in my career, I have a really good understanding of Call of Duty, and I know what works for me and what gets me better and has me ready for matches, and then like what could also help other players like be prepared, learn more, and but it really depends on what your team needs, because sometimes you're gonna need a superstar that can run around and pop a 3-piece and just change the tide of a game by doing something insane. But other teams might need a player who's just more of a team player, who has very good communication,
just level-headed.
Yeah, level-headed, that can like lead the team to victory and set the other players up to be those superstars they need to be. Because like, you can't be a superstar without someone setting you up, and vice versa. Like, right. If you have too many people that aren't superstars, like, you might not just have enough skill to like make it to the finals and win tournaments. Right. So like, it really depends what you need, but you do need both. And you need people that can, at this point with how competitive it's getting, you need people that can be both, like be smart and learn quick, but are also still very talented and can get a 2-piece, 3-piece, or a 4-piece and make an insane play to win the game.
Right. So I'll bridge that to my next question. Who has been your favorite teammate of all time? And like, for what reasons?
Favorite teammates, I would probably have to say, are Accuracy and JCap, kind of for the same reason. JCap, I teamed with early in my career when I was 18, and we'd go to war with each other. I would go to school, come back, and then we'd go to war with each other. People definitely thought we hated each other,
I
but
remember seeing a clip. I think it was in AW.
yeah, we would roast each other like crazy. It's all on YouTube. I uploaded it to my YouTube video, channel. People loved it. People loved it. I was a little shithead back in the day. When I was 18.
We might have to put that in the description so people can watch it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Hilarious.
We would go to war, and I was a little shit for sure. But even when he was like saying things, even though I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, old man," like I would listen to what he's saying in game. So like I would apply it to my gameplay, but I just loved messing with him because him specifically, like I didn't really mess with like Clay or Chris or replays that much. Like I was good friends with them, like, but I wouldn't troll them as much as I would troll JCap because he would get so mad and just it would be so funny, and I just thought it was so entertaining. So I would just want to get a reaction out of him and just troll him. So it was great times, but I definitely was a little shithead to him, but I learned, and he helped me learn and develop as a Call of Duty player. And then Lamar, I teamed with him later on in my career at a point where like we didn't qualify for the pro league. It was a tough year, and then he kind of like reinstilled like the fire in me because at that point I didn't really like care. Like I cared about COD, but I was like it's whatever. But I really wanted to win and team with Lamar because he's one of my best friends. So, but then he just has this like mentality of like people say like the mama mentality. Like he's always watching VOD. He's always studying COD. That's just literally all he does. And he's a very good like teammate and friend and someone that you want to have on your side. Who's going to help you improve inside a game and outside a game. And he really helped me just become the player I am today. Because after I've teamed with him, I've just been getting better ever since and like applying the things that he helped me learn. So, I mean, he's still one of my best friends. And yeah, he helped me a lot just in my COD career too.
That's dope. You mentioned that around that time when you like before you teamed with him, you were kind of just like, whatever about COD. What was kind of the reason for that? Why did you think that it was just like, whatever? Was it like a low point in your career? Was it like what was going on?
Games itself, like we're just not enjoying it as much. Like,
yeah, it was kind of just I don't really know exactly if there was a specific thing. I don't know if it was kind of like I had one of good amount of terms at the time, and COD was still fun, and just kind of like focus on like doing other things. But I'm glad I snapped out of it and like started taking it serious because I have a lot more fun with how serious COD is now, how much you have to put time in and study and learn nowadays than before. Because back then, like you really didn't have to like watch VOD or study because it just wasn't that serious yet. People were just going to events. They would scrim, go to events, have fun. Not really people would watch VOD and put that extra hours in. Yeah. So like that's probably a big reason why I didn't really like I still cared, but it just wasn't like, it just didn't feel like it was super serious. But nowadays, I love just watching VOD for a couple hours or an hour each night and just like all the preparation that goes into it. It just makes me feel like I'm making progress and doing something good.
Absolutely.
And gives me like meaning and purpose to like, oh, okay. Even if we go win or lose, like I know I set myself and my team up to find success with all the hours we put in. So like that just makes me feel good. And I just love how serious it's getting now.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how comfortable you. Feel free to not answer this question. It's kind of a hot question, but no, we're not doing this one.
Okay.
Who was your least favorite teammate and why?
I don't really know if I have a least favorite teammate. People ask that, but like, there's no one I'm just like, I hated teaming with them because like at the end of the day, like if I hated teaming with someone, you could make roster changes in the middle of the season so that they could get gone real quick.
Yeah.
But no, there wasn't anyone I've ever really teamed with where I'm just like, oh my God, I hated teaming with this guy. I've been pretty lucky throughout my career to have like some teammates that were very hot-headed and always arguing or yelling, or teammates that might not be that skilled and might not be that good. But I always try to find like I can always learn from some people. No matter what it is, I can learn from them. So there wasn't any teammate I really like hated teaming with, which I'm pretty lucky for.
Yeah. Okay, another question. Is there anything about your career that you would want to change?
The only thing I would change is just if I could go back in time and like take COD more serious from like I was taking it serious in AW, and then just like from that point on, just like actually watch VOD and like go hard because no one really was doing that back then. No one really started until I'd probably say like World War II is when most players and teams started doing it. But I wish I took it more serious from back then and like watch VOD and did all that extra stuff, because I would have so many more tournament wins, made my team so much more successful. But that just wasn't the culture back then with the players and teams. So like, it's not even my fault or my team's fault specifically. That just wasn't the culture. But I wish, if there was one thing, if I know now, I would just go be watching VOD and preparing and putting my.
So basically, just to like make you better.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there wasn't like a turning point where you're like, oh, like this part of my career sucks.
Nah,
it's more so just like I should have, like back then I should have done more to be a better player now.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. And do you have anything that you want to ask at all?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay, okay. So, being a veteran, being like somebody who's been in the scene for a really long time, what like you obviously, like I said, you have a big face and everything. How do you think that, like, do you feel any responsibility kind of in terms of like influencing like the people coming up and stuff like that?
I definitely know it's important to like leave a positive impact, and like you have a big influence, but it doesn't really feel like it. Like I have a big influence or anything, but I do. And I don't really ever think about it like, oh, I got to do this because I have a big influence. Like I just kind of naturally do what I'm just doing. I'm just doing what I normally do. And so I don't really think about that. Like, oh, I have to do this. Maybe sometimes with like my YouTube videos when I'm just like kind of like helping people out, which is cool. Because it is like one of the best feelings when someone will message you like, oh my God, I love your YouTube videos. Like it helped me learn so much. You're the reason I play COD or watch COD.
Damn, that's good. Guys.
So that's a really good feeling. But I never really think like, oh, I have to be this role model and do all this. Because like at the end of the day, I'm not a role model. Like I don't really see myself as a role model. I just do my thing.
I disagree. I feel like you're definitely like, for different reasons. Like we talked about earlier, like, in essence, Lamar would be like a role model to you in a way.
No. No. Absolutely not.
No. Okay. Well, I
learned from him. But he's not my role model. I can't give him that gas.
Well, like we were talking like in high school, it was like not cool to be like a gamer, and then like you're like finally like everyone knows like, oh shit, he's a pro gamer. After that, once everyone found out, I felt like gaming in high school, like Moore Park High School itself, became more accepted. And I felt like a lot more people became more comfortable with who they are because of what you were doing. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, 100%. I agree with you there, but that just like I said earlier, like it doesn't feel like I have a responsibility doing. Like I know I did that, and I know I helped make it more popular, but it wasn't anything or more normal to like talk about and do. But I wasn't it just feels like it just kind of happened naturally, and like it's cool to see and it's awesome. But I don't know. I just don't wake up and like think like about my influence.
If you're not gonna give yourself that gas, bro, I will. Because the thing is, like, you're definitely a role model. Like, I'm gonna give you this gas once, and I'm never gonna give it to you again. You're
it's premium.
You're a role model for me, just in the fact that like you're always wanting to get better, and you always like have some type of some grind going on. If it's like the off season, you're still going to the gym. You're still like doing stuff to like better your career in general. Like whether it's like your brand or like your streams and stuff like that. Like you're always doing something to like push yourself forward, and that's like kind of like one of my favorite things about like the people that I surround myself with is like I mentioned this in one of the past episodes, but like you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, otherwise you're not learning anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like sitting here and having conversations with you about like one, like your brand and like you like how you came up and stuff like that, like that's like inspirational. And I'm not, chances are it's probably not just me. Like whoever's listening to this right now is probably gonna be like, yeah, like he's the reason that like I was like okay with like he mentioned just like saying that they're a gamer back then, you know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. That's some good gas right there.
But like you said, it wasn't necessarily something that like you were like trying to do. You were just like doing you. People ended up finding out, but then like now you're putting out like YouTube videos and helping people and stuff like that. So like I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit to the point where like people admire the stuff that you put out, and people are like I don't know. Chances are you probably made a lot of people better at the video games.
No, yeah, for sure, sure. I don't know. That's actually about my biggest thing. I don't know why. I literally just can't like gas myself up or call him like I can't do it. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. I literally can't like gas myself up. Like it just feels so weird when I'm talking to someone like, yeah, I do this, and this. And maybe, I'd be further in my career if I could. Maybe not. Who knows? But, like, I just can't do it for some reason. I don't know why. Like, it just feels so awkward when I'm trying to do that. So I just go do my thing and keep it to myself.
Yeah, I mean.
And then what happens after that happens after that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, that's, like, a humble thing to do, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not the type of person that likes to talk about, like, stuff that I've, like, accomplished, you know? Like, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's not a bad thing to like gas yourself.
I need to be more like Floyd Mayweather. That's my goal. That's my goal right there.
Oh man, Floyd Mayweather, that guy's different, bro.
Yeah, he's a goat, bro.
Different. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like at a loss for words. I don't know.
No, I mean it's hard. It's like I don't know. I just feel weird talking about myself. Honestly, like I just don't like talking about myself.
Yeah, I mean, not
No,
like
I don't know. It's just. I guess it depends how you're raised and brought up too. Like what you're used to, what you learned, and how everything goes. But whenever I'm just like, I don't know. I just can't like. Oh, I'm so good at Call of Duty. I don't know. Like it just feels so weird to say. Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't.
Oh, I hit the gym. I'm in such great shape. Like I don't like. It just feels so weird to say.
Yeah,
like
no,
I don't know. Maybe I should start gassing myself up. Should I just
start gassing
myself every day?
Just a little.
Oh my God, I'm the best. I love me.
Yeah, just send a tweet out or something.
Yeah, just wake up in the morning, gas yourself up, and you're gonna have a better day. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Anything?
Actually, I did have a question. Going back a little bit. So, at what point, for like your family, like when did they actually like accept like, okay, he's gonna be a gamer? Like, was that like kind of hard to break it to them? Like, how did they like understand that?
And did you have like the support of both your parents, or like was it like, oh, my mom's kind of got a soft spot for this, like let me talk to my mom, or like your dad? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So early on, like when I was still in like middle school and I was still gaming a lot, still playing sports, baseball all year round, like I had to make sure I was getting good grades, and they would put like timers on my Xbox. I would make up random contracts on notebook pieces of paper saying like, if I have these certain grades or I do this, like I could play for X amount of hours, and I make them sign. And then I think I actually brought them a contract one time, and they looked at it and they're like, go back upstairs. What are you doing? And then just like threw it away or something, or I don't know if they threw it away, but yeah, they didn't sign it. So they were like supportive as long as I was doing what I had to do in school and with sports. And then my mom would like drive me around, because my dad was working a lot. My mom was working a lot too, but my mom was home more, and she would like take me to these tournaments. So I would never let her go inside, because people were going rogue and saying crazy stuff in there. Yeah. It's a hostile environment.
Call of Duty's communities, crazy.
Toxic.
Yeah, crazy.
And that's definitely the roots. So that's definitely where I learned a lot about trash talk and like just being used to it, because I was a little 13, 14-year-old going rogue.
Are you a big trash talker?
Not really. Like, I don't know. I don't really trash talk to people, honestly, but like it depends, because you can't really talk trash to people like on stage. Like you can, but like the headset's on, so it's kind of weird. But like back in those days, I was talking hella shit to people. So like that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm just used to that. Like I just like that. It's just how I came up and what I enjoy. So when people are talking trash to me, like I love it. Like when people are talking trash saying I suck, like it literally like it's just awesome.
I get that.
But yeah, let's get back to the on topic. I'm getting on topic. But yeah, so when I started like getting a little bit of followers, making a little bit of money from online tournaments and these local lands, my parents were like, okay, this is kind of like a cool thing. And like I would be traveling around to these tournaments, going to sometimes even in Canada or just around the US. So they were definitely like about it, as long as I was getting good grades in school. And then once I went to X Games, and did like pretty well in a match, like really well in a match. I absolutely fried FaZe.
He said he doesn't like gassing himself.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not gassing myself. That's just facts. They got Kentucky fried. Word to Donnie Temp.
Sheesh, Mo. Your ass just got Kentucky fried, my nigga.
I went like 12-0 or 10-0 in S&D, something crazy. Dropped 30 for, I don't know. They're getting smoked.
That sounds personal. It sounds like, like that just felt personal.
That was just like a big moment in my career, because like people are like, okay, like when you go to LAN and prove yourself, like you're like, okay, this kid's good. Like the pro players and teams are like, okay, like this guy can play on LAN, because you can go pro online, but you still got to go prove yourself at a real tournament LAN in person versus other teams. So that's like a big moment in everyone's career. Like you have to prove yourself multiple times and honestly keep on proving yourself. But once I started getting followers and making money, they're like, okay, this is cool. And then once I won champs in high school and made $100,000 and had a lot of followers, they're like, all right, well,
this is gonna work.
Yeah, well, like you better be gaming all day. Like if you're not on the game, oh wait, you're going outside to hang out with friends, or like you're on the couch watching TV. Like you better be going up to your room and playing.
Yeah. And
now they're both my parents are super extremely supportive. They watch all the matches, they do everything, and like they're always. My mom's super close in the community. She might be more famous in the COD community than I am, to be honest.
Actually,
she'd be signing more autographs and taking more pictures than me. But yeah, no, my parents are both super supportive now. They just want to make sure I was like getting good grades and on the right track in life. Because especially back then, you couldn't make money off gaming. That wasn't a thing. You make like
it's more so
$500 a month off salary, and like you can't really live off $500 a month off salary when like if that's going to be your salary the whole time. You got to go get a real job or go to college and do something bigger. But now that like you're selling out arenas, there's hundreds of thousands, millions of people watching esports online. You're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like now it's way easier to show parents, look at it, this is like a real thing. This guy on Twitch makes $30K a month, or this guy just made $250,000 from a tournament. Like back then there wasn't that, so I couldn't really show them that. But as I started making money, gaining followers, they were all about it.
Did you have something?
So like, all right, so like when you meet new people, like, and you're like, oh, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a professional gamer. Like, how does that go over for you? Like,
yeah, like
is that,
if,
cool?
like somebody new that you meet that doesn't know you, whatever, they're just like, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
I just say, oh, like I'm a pro Call of Duty player, and they're like, no way, what? Like everyone has been saying that's like, they're like, oh my god, because everyone wants to know more, because like it's just weird to be a pro gamer. Like how many times, especially a couple years ago, like even now, but how many times you really meet a pro gamer if you're just like an everyday life person, whether you're like 50. You're driving Uber because like we fly around and travel a lot, so we're in a lot of Ubers. Like, oh, what are you guys here for? Like, oh, we're just pro gamers, and they're like, what? Pro gamers? That's like a real thing. And like even just meeting random people around, like it's super cool to see their reaction and kind of like talk to them about it. And they're like, wow, like, oh, my son or my cousin or my friend plays video games.
I can't even imagine how many times you hear that conversation.
Yeah,
Uber driver
about every time. About every time. But it's still really cool because like they get to learn a bit about it, and sometimes they're super interested, sometimes they're not. But a lot of times they are, and they ask so many questions, and it's just fun to like teach them about it. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. And because at the end of the day, everyone knows a person that played or plays video games. There's not one person in the United States, well, maybe a couple, but you know what I'm saying. There's a very high percentage of people that play, have watched, or seen video games before. So like everyone can kind of relate in some way.
Yeah. Totally get it.
Yeah. I had a question. Fuck. I'm trying to remember.
Hit me.
I'm trying to remember. What was like the first like big check that you got, and like your parents like saw? I know you said champs, but like they noticed that you were making money like fairly consistently before that. Yeah. What was like the big what was your big tournament that you won or big match that you won that kind of was just like, oh shit?
A cool moment for me was in Black Ops 2. I won a 2v2 S&D with Sender. He's the coach of Optic Texas, and we played against Pharaoh at the time. Rest in peace to Jay, and Fellow, who has been a pro as well. And we beat them, and I won like $285. And I was just like so hyped. And they were like, Pharaoh and Fellow were like really big S&D names at the time. Like they were really good at S&D. So when we beat them, I remember we were down 2-4, and Troy was complaining. He's like, oh my God, dude, like we choked or something. We choked around or something, whatever. And I was like, Troy, shut the fuck up. And then like, I was like, yo, we got this. And then we came back and won. And that was just such a big moment for me. To like, actually, that was my first time I ever made money online. Like I made like $100 when I was 15. And I thought I was on top of the world at like a local land when I won a free for all. I thought I was on top of the world. Yeah. I thought $100 could buy me anything in life when I was 15. I was so hyped. I literally felt like the man driving around with my $100 bill, driving back home that night. So that was cool. But like that when I made money on the online tournament, like that was a lot for me in high school. That's sick as fuck, and then I started winning a couple more online tournaments after that. But once I made that, because my parents were like, what, you made like money online? And I was like, yeah. And so they got the accounts all set up. So I got my money that I won. And it was just a really, really cool experience. Because I was like, dang, like I'm good now and I'm winning online. I could win more money from these tournaments and then get my name out there. So I would say just like from Black Ops 2 and Ghost, just all the online tournaments, like in wagers and stuff and money I've won from there, which was like, okay, like this guy's bringing in a couple $100 a month or a couple thousand. If you had a good month, you win a lot of tournaments, a couple thousand, 1,000, 2,000. So,
so I know online tournaments and stuff like that is like a big like a factor in how people make it nowadays. What kind of advice would you give to people like coming up and stuff like that in terms of not only like how to make it, but also like the behind the scenes, like what, like the grind of it, like what kind of mentality goes through like getting through the trenches pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices where there's hanging out with friends, family, significant other, whatever it may be, like a sports even. Like you're gonna have to put a lot of time in, because especially now with how much money people are making from all the kinds of games, all the kids coming up nowadays, they want to be YouTubers and pro gamers. Like, they obviously want to be athletes still. But if you do the poll now, all the kids in 2nd and 1st grade are mostly saying YouTubers and pro gamers now, or a Twitch 100%. Streamer or something, which is crazy to think about. So, like, it's going to get competitive, and you're going to really need to put the time in and meet the right people and just try and be the best player or best content creator that you could be. But, yeah, definitely learning, like, whether let's say you're a YouTuber, like learning the genre you want to be in, what you're passionate about, seeing what's working well for people, and kind of learning from them, like their titles, thumbnails, and seeing why they're getting views. Or when it comes to professional gaming, why is this player always so good? Why is Cellium always going positive? Why is he always frying? Okay, I'm gonna watch this guy's gameplay and post up and go to these spots that he goes to. Wow, I'm getting more kills now that I'm doing that. I'm doing more damage. I'm winning more often now. So you really just want to learn from the people that are at the top, and then also watch what you do back. Watch your YouTube videos back. Okay, I have an 8-minute long video, or 8-minute 1 second long video. The average view duration, everyone stopped watching at 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Why did people start watching at 4 minutes 30 seconds? What happened before that? And what happened at that point that made people just leave the video? So you really just want to learn as much as you can about your content, your gameplay. VOD review for everything in life. It's going to get you better, smarter, and make you feel more like, it's going to make you feel better, like you're being productive about something and trying to better yourself and what you're doing. So that's always a good feeling. But just putting the extra time in, whether it's an hour or two a day, just learning everything.
Absolutely. Cool. I think we'll do one last question. Let's see. What was the biggest life lesson from your career?
Biggest life lesson from my career? There's probably a couple. Probably like after AW season when we were like the best team in the game. Well, Optic was like the best team in the game, but we always played them. We always beat them, so we were the best team in the game. Like when our phase team formed at the end, like I beat Optic at champs, but then our phase team formed at the end, and we went 3 for 5 out of the turn. So we won 3 of the 5 tournaments. They won the other 2. But then we went to Black Ops 3, and we weren't that good in that game. We got like 4th through 6th the whole year, which is really embarrassing after we were getting top 2 and winning the year before. But now looking back on it, like just developing as a team throughout when the game first drops, seeing what we could have done better to like just improve and taking it more serious too. Like we got at the top for a little bit. We probably got comfortable and had some egos, and then we didn't go as hard and didn't take it as serious because we thought we were just going to go in there, fry everyone, and just it would be easy. But no, so that was a big learning lesson, or a lesson we learned. When I look back on that, like you got to just always stay on top of it. It's a new game every year. There's new people who want to come up and take your spot and beat you and put you out of a job essentially, and take food off your table, take food away from, or take money away from you, your friends, your family, and you. Like you can't live anymore. So like it's competitive now. Right. You got to stay focused and be improving yourself. No matter if you just won every single event and won champs, you got to stay focused for the next year. Right. And then another big thing was definitely after Black Ops 4 or during Black Ops 4 when we didn't qualify for the Pro League, and I ended up joining EG. I could have joined FaZe back. I would have been making more money. I would have been surrounded by better players, but I kind of just wanted to get a new environment and kind of like leave like the nest and leave my comfort zone. I was teaming with players that weren't as big names or as skilled, but like it was probably the best decision I ever made in my career, just because like I was able to go learn a lot about myself and what I needed to do to like to still be a professional player and be successful in business and stuff. And then also just knowing like how down bad I was and almost quitting at that time, to seeing where I am at this point today and how I fought through that and learned a lot about myself and did everything I could to try and be a better person and player, and to where it got me. So like even at your low points, like you really just gotta, I know you probably don't want to do anything at your low points because you feel like shit, but you just gotta lock down and do everything in your power to be the best person you could be.
So why would you say you were down bad at that time? Like what was the mindset? Like why was it like a bad point in your career?
Because I didn't make the Pro League. That was like super embarrassing to not make the Pro League. And we were losing to like team, and we just weren't very good as a team. I was using a new controller, and I literally couldn't shoot straight because like, I don't know, I just wasn't used to that controller, even though I used it for like a month or two, which is really weird because with the scuff, like I just shoot straight. But with the other controller, I was like telling myself, yo, shoot straight. But like I just couldn't get used to it. But it's just with a controller I'm used to, it was just so natural. I'm just shooting straight. I can't not shoot straight with this controller. But the other controller, I had to like think like, yo, shoot straight. But I couldn't. So that was a really bad moment. And everything was just like us not qualifying, that everything was just like, damn, like, fuck, I might have to go play Fortnite or something now.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you like at that point you didn't qualify. Were you like, is this it for me? Like, am I done? Like, am I done competing or like?
Yeah, kind of. I was kind of like, yo, I might just quit and go play Fortnite, go play another game. Like, I won a lot in COD. It was cool. But maybe it's time for something new. Thank God I didn't do that. Thank God I didn't quit. That would have been really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just a mixture of everything, not qualifying and all that really just wasn't feeling it.
What kind of got you out of that rut? Like, what was like?
Honestly, just going to a new environment and joining EG for less money and teaming with players that everyone, if you told them, would consider as not like close to the talent and skill level. I'm not going to call them shit stains because they're not. They're still good players.
No,
but like
actually,
compared to the other players I would have teamed with, they're not like those big names and those superstar players. So like, but that was just one of those things where I just had to do it because like if I probably stayed on FaZe, I don't know how things would have went, but I feel like it just wouldn't be good for me.
Did a lot of people know that you could have gone to FaZe, but you decided not?
Yeah, well, not a lot of people. I think like the people that were close into that situation do, but I don't think it's really like big public knowledge. But
you just shot it down. You're like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I was like, I just need to go. I just need to go to a different environment. I need to see something new, and so I think that really just gave me like the passion again to like want to be better. Cause like, okay, I'm out on my own now. There's no one that has my back. It's me solo. I gotta go do this thing. If I want to make this work, I gotta go do everything in my power to make it work, and that's what I had to do.
All right. Well, you got anything?
Yeah, real quick. So we've been talking about the past
all day, all
we've
night.
been talking about your career. So like, as far as the future holds, like, what do you think? What you got big plans like with your brand and yourself? You know, like your gaming career. What you got planned?
Yeah, so it's always been a very important thing to me to build a brand throughout my playing career. I've seen Optic, I've seen Nade Shot, Scum, Hex, all build that Optic brand and their individual brands. I joined FaZe, very big content-based org. And like I learned at an early age when I was a pro that this gaming stuff isn't gonna last forever. You have one bad season, you might get dropped. That's it.
Yeah.
You do not have a job. You do not have income. If you didn't go to school, you don't have anywhere to really land and start your journey in real life to get a job outside of the gaming world. So like I wanted to build a brand. So when that inevitable day comes, when I have to retire, whether I'm not good enough, that's not gonna happen. I'm always gonna be good enough. But when I'm not good, when I'm not good enough, I'm retiring literally instantly. I'm just like, I'm actually not good enough anymore. Actually, no, I'm never not gonna be good enough. So it's only when I don't have the passion for it. So when I don't have the passion for it anymore, and like the super passion, I'll just call it. Like I don't want to cost my teammates. I don't want to do that. So right when I don't have the passion, I know I don't, and when my focus is elsewhere, I'll call it. But I'm always gonna have the skills for it. In the
so
mindset.
You don't have like a year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of thinking maybe like 3 years. I think right now I'm saying like 3 years. So in like 2026-ish, I'd say 2025. It depends, but probably 3-4 years. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll just see how it goes. But since I was able to build my brand up to a pretty good point and meet a lot of people, make a lot of good friendships and relationships with people, and just be really successful in pro gaming and also building a brand while doing it, I have a lot of options when I retire, which is like the goal. But I don't want to just have like fallback options. Like I want to do what I want to do at that time, and I don't specifically know what I want to do. That's something I think about a lot. Like, what do I want to do? And I truly don't know. Do I want to coach? Do I want to be a full-time YouTuber and full-time Twitch streamer and content creator? Like, I could say some things I want to do certain days, but until that day comes, I don't think I'm gonna for sure know what I want to do.
Yeah, so, you feel it in the moment.
But I do want to be in control of what I do.
Right.
Like I don't want to have to be like, okay, now I need to go work this job, or I need to go take this job right now. Like I want to keep working hard and find success to where I could like have a year or two where I could be like, okay, let's lock down and I'm gonna do what I want to do, whatever it is at that point, and then just go hard with that thing and see where it takes me.
I like that.
Cool. I'm good.
We're good. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, this would be all good, but just thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming.
I like what you guys are doing here. Like, it's really important to talk about like mental health and all these things, not just in esports and gaming, but like in everything in life, because like that is something that people don't really like to talk about. Hell, honestly, I don't even like like literally when I go through problems, I don't even talk to people about my problems. Yeah. I literally don't talk. People ask me what's wrong. No, I'm good. But like I personally don't talk to people about that stuff. Like I just don't. So that's probably a really bad thing. Yeah. I know it's a bad thing, but I still just don't do it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a difficult thing to talk about.
Yeah. It definitely takes a lot to open up.
For sure.
Especially to like, I mean, more specifically just like do I really do I have somebody that I trust enough to have that conversation with?
No, I have people I trust enough. I just don't do it.
Yeah,
I just don't like to be a burden on people. I just don't like to do it.
I'm the same way.
So like that is a important thing. Don't be like me. Be better than me and talk to people. If you need help, get help. Even if you don't need help, if you just want to talk about things. Yeah. It is good to talk with your friends about things or family about things just to get it off your chest, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And that's like part of the reason that, I mean, I mentioned this in the very first video when I announced that we were doing this podcast is, I mean, if you don't know who to talk to, you don't know what to do if you're dealing with mental health issues, I want this to be a platform for me to speak on something that is not, I mean, it's getting more and more noticed and it's getting a lot more conversations now. But I'm using this as a platform to talk about mental health, talk about the issues that people deal with and stuff like that. So I hope like this is a place where people feel comfortable and like listen and then, you know, that you're not alone. I mean, like Dillon just said, he's huge pro gamer, stuff like that. He deals with his demons and he's got stuff that goes on there. But at the end of the day, we're all human and we all deal with things in specific ways. He doesn't like talking about his issues, but I'm sure
probably isn't healthy, but you know.
But I mean, there's also the other aspect of him going out into nature, going on walks, going to the beach, working out and stuff like that. So like, there's a balance there. Like he finds a way to, in a sense, like give himself room to like breathe, in essence. Yeah. So with that being said, I think we can close it up. Thank you everybody for watching episode 4 of the Purpose Podcast. I got my boy Diggy, we got Dillon, my boy Dash. I appreciate you for having us here, and like, comment, subscribe. I'll put all his stuff in the description, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Peace.
Here
we go.